In the business model of integrity, there are businesses that have really taken their time and invested their time on a regular basis to be the provider of information and knowledge. And I think education is power and knowledge is power to make good quality choices. And there's our next guest on our show has more than just about any other business really taken that on. So I've just got to start by thanking Greg Doyle, owner of Greg's Garage, for taking on, investing your time and supporting the efforts of educating and bringing the knowledge base of our community up to a new standard.
Well, first of all, we want to congratulate you, Mitch, for making it for a year. I know how tough it is to be in business. And what you are bringing to the community is, that's undaunting. What you've got to do, you're getting people to find an area where they can trust shops. I love this industry. I love fixing cars. But it hurts me inside when a customer comes in and he spent money for no value. I mean, it kills me. And like you say, put your money where your mouth is. Hey, let's support businesses that are a true value to our community. And where are you going to find those? How are we going to get to that level? I mean, I would like to start shops to get together to bring up that bar, to say, hey, we've got quality.
You're in the process of actually doing that. I mean, we've taken it on a large scale across the entire automotive community, but in the repair shop side of it, you're actually putting together or trying to form an organization around our community that calls all the shops together to raise the bar.
Yeah, to be like-minded, to provide those moral values, trust, honesty, just looking after the customer's best interests.
So there's some people that go out and they just complain about the lack of the quality or the job that they just had and how they didn't get their money's worth. And they're not doing anything about it. And here we are, we're sitting across the table from each other talking about making a difference and really taking that on. And I just had to thank you for that because, it takes businesses like yours to really support what we're up to. And what we're really committed to do is to change the face of the automotive industry in our community and our nation as we grow into other cities. And you said it's daunting. It's a gigantic undertaking.
So this is grassroots, what you're doing. And, and you're hitting a target instead of just this big, massive, let's see, we'll just try this, and this. You're actually, okay, let me see if I can refine how to choose the businesses that bring the value to my community, first of all, and then go from there.
And that's exactly what it's all about. And the idea is that I'm hoping, and I had a guest on our show call it the most brilliant, not a shot fired revolution in the history of capitalism, because they said basically what we're going to do is we're going to reshape the consumer's expectations. They're going to apply to everything that they consume. Once they start to support the businesses that we endorse and they get the quality at the level that we're up to, like your business, absolutely extraordinary. People that come to you, I know, will go to every other business when they need something else other than automotive repair that's in our group of businesses, because they're just going to get the service that they've always dreamed of, that they've always wanted, the customer service from the front door, from the people that greet them to the quality of the repairs. And I mean, even last show, we had one of your technicians on talking about even your compensation plans affect whether or not a consumer's being sold something unnecessarily. And I'd love you to get your take on it because you made that decision. There are flat rate and there are hourly technicians, and you chose the plan that made it so the customer wasn't getting taken advantage of.
Well, thank you for all that compliments there, Mitch. That's great. It feels good to make a difference. And, I'm looking after the consumer's best interest. I'm a blue-collar, middle-class workman, right? My money matters. And I want my customers to feel the same way. Their money matters. So what can I do that best takes care of that customer? So there's a thing in my industry of paying either flat rate or hourly, and most of the peers, they pay their guys by what they put out, piecework kind of like. And so if there's problems, a lot of times a mechanic will not go the extra mile to do it correctly, not install that extra clip or just put that plug in just right. But if you're paying them hourly, that's not going to affect a job gone bad. A lot of mechanical stuff breaks for some reason or another. And if the mechanic's not pressured, he's going to do the job correct. He's going to take the time to make sure it was done right and delivered, and the customer should be very happy with the product that they paid for.
And because he's going to get his paycheck at the end of the week, regardless, he's not motivated to sell things that aren't necessary just to build a ticket so he can get that piecework sale.
Right.
And that really boils down to, I don't think our community understood that before that was brought up on the last time one of your technicians was here to talk about it. It's just not a conversation that's been had with the community. And that's why I had to take the time to thank you on our 1-year anniversary for taking on that kind of information and knowledge. That knowledge is so much power to a consumer to be able to make the selection of who they support.
Well, and, what's the motivation behind the company? Most corporations are driven by accountants that are driven by money. So the more sales they make, the more they generate through the company, the more everybody makes money. Well, is that really what our society's built on? Is, who's going to push the most money through the door? Or is it taking care of your family, your friends, your community, and giving them a great quality product and living off that?
Here's the funny thing about that. You have proven that type of service, that type of commitment does result in the net bottom line going up and growth. You have grown to how many bays in your facility over the last decade?
I'm up to 18 bays, not using them all, but yeah, I got lots of space to grow. And it's amazing to see it grow because, they say, build it and they will come. And wow, yeah, it's great. It's great to have a business like this that I can support. A lot of families, a lot of local families live off this shop that I started from scratch.
Well, let's talk about something specific today in ride quality. I think that, this is, again, the educational value of what you're providing our community that I love it. And so people are out there driving their car and they're feeling some of these sensations. They may not even know what particularly is causing them, but you're going to shed some light on it. So let's talk about vehicle ride quality, tires, tire pressure monitoring systems, and just how steering and suspension systems and shocks and how that affects their ride and what sensations they're having could really mean.
So what we're going to do is we're going to try to talk about the tire, or not the tire, but how the vehicle handles and feels and road control. And so we're going to start with the tires. And first of all, tires are specific to a vehicle, the size. The computer, knows what size that tire is. So you go change tires around, offsets, change wearing angles when you change the rims. So, there's a lot of considerations before buying a tire. And like we talked about, what is the tire going to be used for? Are you going to go up into the mountains, go four-wheeling? Or are you going to be running around the streets, little performance? There's a lot of considerations to do that. And then keep in the tire things, they have the monitor systems for tire pressure. And I just found out this week that those things are only good for 5 or 6 years. They got little batteries in them. 100,000 miles what they're known to be good for. So I want my consumers to know that, we might be putting a set of sensors on your car that's going to add to the cost of doing your tires coming in the future, because mandated in 2008, they're all coming with these tire sensors.
Well, and we talked about the tires, and what I love is in your shop is you do offer tires when people come in if they need tires that you can put those on
at a competitive price.
At competitive, exactly, and that's one of your commitments. But also that your guys take the time to, as you said, talk about what their uses are, because if you're driving up the mountain roads, you may need a stronger compound, a harder sidewall, so you can handle those corners and get your tire life. If you're, in real estate and you're taking long drives with potential clients and you want ride comfort, you may want a softer compound tire. So they're going to take the time to really help select an appropriate tire and the one that's appropriate for the car as well, both the consumer and the car.
And to help out the consumer, you don't have to ask us when the tire is worn out. All you have to do is look at the wear bar. Every tire comes with a wear bar. What did we say that was? 230 seconds. It'll tell you if that tire's worn out or not, and you can look at it yourself.
Well, and the other thing too is that there's so many noises that can be a result of improperly worn tires. So let's discuss some of those noises, like humming and vibrations that they can get through the steering wheel even.
Yeah, tires definitely, you put a low tire out there for a while, it starts wearing on the sidewall. Then when you do inflate it, it doesn't act the same. And sometimes they separate internally and you'll get a vibration or a bumping. And Tire wear, you get a scuffing on it, and then it just doesn't hold the road right. So it's really important to have the suspension and the shocks and the alignment in top shape for the performance of this tire.
Well, and the tire is the only thing that contacts the ground. So again, I don't think that we've really gotten into the suspension. And the suspension is, you mentioned it before, in race cars, for an example.
Yeah, so, the racing industry and now the automotive engineers, they spend 50% of their time now on suspension, 50% on horsepower. You got a lot of engine putting out horsepower, but can you hook it up? Can you get that on the road? So if you want some more performance out of your vehicle, make sure your suspension and your tires are up to transferring that energy.
Well, and part of that is a properly aligned vehicle. So let's talk about the alignment factors. What are involved in alignments?
So there's primary angles. There's caster, camber, and toe. And these are angles that transfer the energy from your acceleration. So what we want to do is have that tire on the road true. But it goes through different areas. Around turns, the tires still have to grab traction. Going over bumps, they got to be able to absorb it and keep the tire back on the ground. There's different characteristics.
Well, and one of the things is when they come into your shop, if their car isn't properly aligned, a road test a lot of times will help them just diagnose some of the problems. So what kinds of problems would they feel if the car was out of alignment?
Well, obviously it'll pull. You'll get vibrations. You'll get shaking.
If there's a problem with their shocks or struts, what types of sensations would they get?
Yeah, shocks were real important because they keep the tire on the ground and it increases your road comfort 100%. You got a worn out shock, you'll go around a corner and it feels like you're swaying right off the road. Or you go over a bump and you just feel it right through your seat. Man, a new set of shocks on your car, you're thinking you bought a new car. The ride quality is just tremendous.
And the one that I think a lot of our listeners miss on is the wandering, and that's sometimes just in the steering of the suspension.
Well, you got loose tie rod ends and loose parts, and maybe a loose mount on your steering.
And how do they get a hold of you, Greg, to have the tire, shock, suspensions, and alignment checked?
Come see us on our website, which is a great billboard, gregsgarageinc.com, or call us at 324-0911. I'm located in Reno, off I-80 on 6th Street, 410 East 6th Street.
That's Greg Doyle, owner of Greg's Garage. Again, I can't thank you enough for being a part of that commitment to our community and bringing our community the best products and services, including automotive repair like yours. So thank you again.
If you got any questions about auto repair, please give us a call and we'll walk you through it.